The healthiest person you meet might be the one you're least attracted to. And that's uncomfortable because most people assume attraction is a sign of chemistry, a sign of compatibility, a sign that something is right. But what if attraction is sometimes pointing backward instead of forward? What if the reason healthy people don't excite you has nothing to do with them and everything to do with what your nervous system learned a long time ago? By the end of this video, you'll understand why calm can feel boring, why chaos can feel magnetic, and why some of the healthiest relationships never get a chance to begin. Welcome to the inner room. Let's go deeper. Most people trust attraction immediately. They meet someone, and within minutes, they start measuring the connection. Do I feel something? Do I feel the spark? Do I feel chemistry? And if the answer is no, they move on. But here's the problem. Attraction is not always a compass. Sometimes it's a memory, a reaction, a pattern, something old recognizing itself. Because your brain is not designed to choose what is healthiest. It's designed to recognize what is familiar. And familiar can feel powerful, even when it hurts. That's why the strongest spark is not always the safest direction. And that's where things become confusing, because what feels right can sometimes be exactly what keeps repeating. And maybe the question isn't, why am I attracted to them? Maybe it's, why does this feeling seem so familiar? People think they choose partners consciously, but much of attraction happens before conscious thought even begins. Your nervous system notices things first. The emotional distance, the unpredictability, the feeling that you need to earn attention. And if those dynamics were familiar early in life, they can feel strangely compelling later. Not because they're healthy, because they're known. This is why someone emotionally available can feel surprisingly uninteresting. Not bad, not unattractive, just quiet. And when you're used to emotional intensity, quiet can feel like nothing. But here's the twist. Nothing is not what you're feeling. You're feeling safety. Your body just doesn't recognize it yet. And that's where most people make a mistake. They assume the absence of anxiety means the absence of connection, when sometimes it means the absence of danger. Now, here's where most people misunderstand the whole thing. They think they're attracted to the person. Sometimes they're attracted to the challenge, the uncertainty, the pursuit, the emotional puzzle. Because unhealthy dynamics often create a mission. Can I win them over? Can I make them choose me? Can I finally become enough? And that mission creates energy, obsession, momentum, a reason to keep thinking. But healthy people remove the puzzle. They're clear, consistent, available. And when there's no puzzle, there's nothing to chase, which sounds good until you realize some people have spent years confusing chasing with loving. And suddenly, the lack of drama feels like lack of chemistry, when really, it's the absence of struggle. And that's the moment the entire story starts changing. Because maybe you never wanted excitement. Maybe you became addicted to uncertainty.
But the deepest part is this. Healthy people are not boring. At least, not in the way you think. Because what you're feeling is not boredom. It's withdrawal. Withdrawal from intensity. Withdrawal from unpredictability. Withdrawal from emotional highs and lows. For years, your nervous system learned to associate love with activation, the waiting, the chasing, the uncertainty, the relief when they finally text back, the anxiety when they don't. And eventually, those emotional spikes start feeling normal, even necessary. So when someone healthy enters your life, something strange happens. There is no game, no confusion, no mixed signals, no emotional roller coaster. And your nervous system looks around and asks, where is it? Where is the tension? Where is the excitement? Where is the thing I'm supposed to be worried about?
And when it can't find it, it assumes something is missing. But maybe nothing is missing. Maybe something is absent for the first time. The chaos, the instability, the emotional hunger. And that's why peace feels empty before it feels safe. Because safety is unfamiliar. And unfamiliar things rarely create butterflies. At first, they create silence. And silence can feel terrifying when you've spent your life surviving noise. But eventually, something changes. You stop craving the emotional roller coaster. You stop mistaking anxiety for chemistry. You stop measuring love by intensity and start measuring it by something else. Can I breathe here? Can I be myself here? Can I rest here? Because maybe healthy people don't excite you because your nervous system is still learning a language it never got to speak, the language of safety. And maybe the relationship that changes your life won't be the one that gives you the biggest spark. Maybe it will be the one that finally lets you rest.
This is the work of the inner room. Not to tear apart what you've built, but to gently, carefully open the rooms you've kept locked. If this made you stop, you already know why. Don't scroll past that feeling. Subscribe and answer this in the comments. Have you ever mistaken peace for boredom? Because this is what we do here. I'll see you in the next room.